New tonight at 5. In the first half of the 20th century, railroads were an economic force for the growing Illinois economy. They were major employers in towns like Mattoon, which was served by Illinois Central and the Big Four. WMAD's Doug Wolf shows us a new book detailing the story of Mattoon's railroad history.
At one time, Mattoon was a railroad town with trains intersecting the city, powered by steam. Among the companies running rail through Mattoon were the Cleveland, Cincinnati, Chicago, and St. Louis, also known as the Big Four and owned by the New York Central, along with the Illinois Central. Combined, the railroads were major employers in the Mattoon community.
The highlight of the story are the photos.
Chris Sertic is the Mattoon Public Library History Center curator.
I'm a writer, I'm a reader, and I always had in the back of my mind I'd like to do a book.
He's just published a book called The Big Dig.
Probably a year of solid work in putting it together.
The story of a project in 1914 to construct a subway allowing the Illinois Central to pass below street level with its freight and passenger trains.
It cost the Illinois Central Railroad $1 million. The last time I checked, Google today's value was about $36 million.
Trains in Mattoon constantly cross paths at street level. In 1911, there was a major wreck which created a catalyst for the subway to be constructed.
The Illinois Central engineer was trying to run the crossing. He was trying to beat the New York Central Big Four train, and they collided right in the intersection, and it flipped the Big Four locomotive over, and the engineer was in the cab of the locomotive, and he was crushed to death.
The Mattoon Library was able to purchase original Illinois Central glass plate negatives showing the Big Dig work from a collector.
I guess I'm proud of the fact that we have patrons who stepped up and donated the money for the library to acquire those glass plate negatives in the first place.
70 negatives, which allow the book to show rare photos.
So out of that 70, I'm going to say at least 40 or 50 of them have never been published or seen before.
Digging the subway through Mattoon required steam shovels, the technology of 1914.
So altogether, the steam shovels made about 6 passes through the ditch to get it all opened up.
I'm standing at street level. How deep was the Big Dig? Well, the tracks and passenger train platform are 27 feet below. Where was the Illinois Central passenger train station going to be located? It came just a few years later.
They were unsure really until they got in the final retaining walls and got all that done. They were unsure exactly where they were going to be able to plant the depot.
The Illinois Central Depot still stands and is operational today, handling Amtrak passengers. A second depot for the Big Four no longer exists.
There's a lot of other little anecdotes in here because I talk about Mattoon in 1914.
The Big Dig is in hardback with more than 170 photos. It costs $38, and all of the proceeds go to the Mattoon Library. As for the subway, it is still very active to this day, handling freight and Amtrak service. In Mattoon, Doug Wolf, WAND News.
Pretty cool to learn about the history. Well, the subway rail lines are now used by Amtrak and Canadian National. Canadian National acquired the controls of the Illinois Central in 1998.